Hello members. Good afternoon.
No worries.
Members of T Square Tutoring.
That's how we did ours
Before we get into this one,
last year.
featuring properties of logs, to make a small
Had
announcement.
people email us their
We actually reached
applications.
10 subscribers
Then it
in
was a
like
lot of
2
work
days,
for us.
so
This
that's
year
pretty
we
cool.
had to
I'd like to say thank you for subscribing, and with that being said, let's get into it. So, this was sent to me by Honest Algebra 2 student, I believe. So basically, we're just going to be dealing with a bunch of logarithms. So, first, I'm going to do this one. So express each logarithm in terms of log 2m and log 2n.
This year was our first time.
Oh, by the way, sorry for whispering. My mom's on a meeting, so I don't want to interrupt that, you know. But hopefully my audio quality is still decent. Anyway, so 2 properties. For this first one, we got 2 properties of logs we want to consider. One, power rule. We got definition. So, power rule. Say we have log. I'll just use A, B, and C because we just need random things. Say we have of A, log base A, to the power of B. No, log A, B, to the power of C. Oh, also should have specified. This goes off the assumption, you know, like the basic prop, what a log is, you know, base, answer, product, base, answer, power. So if you don't know that, then my apologies for excluding you, but trying to just focus on one thing, you know. Anyway, power rule states if you have something like this, it means power rule equal to C log A. If you want a visual, you just take whatever. What the heck was that? Like, you take whatever you had the power of and just bring it down. So, it's the first one we want to look at. The second one we want to look at is the product rule. Logs. Basically states we have log A, B, C. And that's equal to log A, B plus log AC. So those are the 2 we need for now, at least. I'll see if we need more. I'll add more if we need it. That being said, let's look at problem 1. So to separate them, we'll take it, we use our product rule. So log 2 and 5, and we separate this n, we get log 2 and 4. Now that we have it in terms of the power, we can bring this power down, or power out of the log. So get 5 log 2m plus 4 log 2n. We put a little box around it, because why not? That's not a box, but pretend it's box-like. Anyway, that being said, let's move on back to the point. We can actually, instead of worrying, there's one way we can rewrite this, is to just think of it as m to the 3 and 3. Because it's a power, that's just a rule of exponents. Or the same thing. Just me on that. Anyway, so if we write it like that, we could do the same thing that we did for this earlier one. So log 2 m3 plus log 2 and 3. And we write bring this power down. Fun. Log 2m 3 log 2n. And depending on what we have to do for every individual teacher you have, they might require you to simplify a little more. Just in case, I'll factor out a 3 for both terms.
So they got 1 point if they
That's
were
our final answer for number 2.
high school senior.
The last one for this section.
If they submitted their transcript,
Log,
1 point for
log,
recommendation,
it's base,
and
right?
1 point for
Yeah,
the
log
essay.
base 2 of
So
n
that was
times the square root of n.
black and white, that was easy. And
This is
then
another
for
property
GPA,
of exponents.
so this is all
Square root of
So we said
n,
they
in this
got
case,
4.0
equal to
GPA,
n 1 half.
3.8, they got 4 points,
So,
3.5,
I'm just gonna rewrite it like
they got
that.
3. So we use this grading rule
Right here,
to help us
log 2,
determine what their GPA was. And then also for like
M,
leadership, we did the same thing.
and then n,
If they didn't do
the 1
anything,
half.
they wanted no organizations, they
Just
got
like before,
0.
we can separate
And
that
if
into
they
2 different logs.
They were active in like 2
2
organizations, then they got 2 points.
m plus
So,
log 2
and then also with their focus,
n,
so the next 4
the 1 half.
dealt with their essay. Focus, the organization.
Since this is just another
sentence
power,
fluency, and a vocab. That was all for their essay.
you can bring that down.
A 0 to 4.
So,
And then
be equal to
I just
log
did
2m
the points.
plus
So we had
1
each
half
sword, do
log
a
2n.
grading, their own grading. So that was just mine. And since I okay, yeah,
Boom.
so the swords.
Okay.
And I told them like
Now for the next
we were
section.
rushed for time. I
Given
told
that
them
log
they have to
9
look for
equals
transcripts, the letter
0.95 and log 2 equals 0.3 to 2 decimal places, evaluate the following. It's 2 things. 1, anytime, this is actually log 10 in the original one, and log 10 here. However, if you like ask pretty much any professor, or if you were to put this into a calculator, it automatically assumes base 10. So you can just write log 9, it's equal to log 10. It's just a log base 10 of 9. It's the same thing, they just wanted to be unique with the notation. Anyway, that being said, let's get into this. So, for now I'll just write it. What you call it? Log. What you call it? Log of 2. Oh, that's not. So I got ahead of myself. Log of 10, 81. If you were to just take the square root of 81, and you'll get 9, for technically speaking plus or minus 9, but we're just going to say 9, and that's that. I'll just look at the positive one, because what you call it, logs can't be negative, so you get to ignore the negatives. Sorry. And now, what you call it? No, this is correct, right? Let's get back to the original 81 by squaring it. Get 81 equals 9 squared, right? Cool. Why does that matter? Well, let me move this over a little. Can we write that? This log as log base 10, 9 squared. And we remember earlier, product rule says we can just bring that little power. Bring whatever power you have. Just bring it down. Actually, I should probably leave that for when I upload it. Nice little visual for you. Let's get to it. Can we write this as 2 log 10 9? And log base 10 of 9 was given to us as 0.95. So we can rewrite this once further. It's 2 times 0.95. And since I am very much into my math journey, I have now forgotten basic decimals, so I need to go look this up. This is 1.9. Definitely knew that off the top of my head. Just pretend like I did. Anyway, the final answer for 9. I like to apologize because this is just me writing poorly. This is a 9, not an A. Sorry about that. This also brings us to our third property, right? Yeah, third property of logs. quotient. This is a quotient tool. Her quotient property. Principle is the same regardless of name. Ooh, other rhyme. Anyway, let's say you have log of B over C. And when you solve multiplication, you can rewrite it as plus. Well, the same idea is for division. Just separate them. Instead of having a plus, just a minus. So if you forget one of them, if you can remember the other one, I'll help you remember. It's a little memorization tip for you all. Going back to what we were actually doing. Oh, that's too far. So we write that as log 10 9 minus log 10 2. And we were given both of those, which is nice. So equals 0.95 from this. And then from this, that's equal to 0.3 equals 0.65. And a nice little box for it. Now for the last one to evaluate, we have a square root. Now if you remember earlier, square root is just 1/2, which is nice. So this is just a log 2 to the 1/2 power. We can bring that out from the product rule. It was 1/2 2. I don't know why I said log 2. I've been deceiving you all. Nope, that's a 10, so I'm just gonna remove that. My apologies. Anyway, remember from earlier, it's 0.3. So that's 1/2 0 times 0.3. And that's 320. 0.15. Luckily, I'm your tutor, so I get to use calculators to confirm. I'm pretty sure this assignment doesn't let you, but oh well. Yeah, 0.15. Yikes. That's our final answer for that. Next section, express a logarithm of a single number or expression. So basically, when we had this in one, and to separate it, you have to take the separated stuff and bring it back into here. So, oh boy. So, let's try and think of it taking no verse. What'd you call it? When we had a power before, we took it from, I'm just going to simplify this, we took it and we brought it here to get, we'll just say x to the p. Sorry for being lazy. Now we want to do the reverse. Try and get it back to that. So, since we have 3 here, 3 here, we want to bring both of those powers back up to where they used to be. So, log 4 of p cubed plus, oops, didn't do that, log 4 q cubed. Q cubed. It's a funny one. Remember, from our product rule, this means we have b and c added, and they'll just be b times c. So since we had, what you call it, these two added, we can just simplify this to one big log. It's going to be log to the 4th p cubed times q cubed. Ooh, this is a hard one. So we still need the power rule. Oops, let me make that a bigger circle. Still need the power rule. If I can get that up here. I'm going to wait to the right because I didn't give myself enough space. Don't make that mistake, kids.
Yep.
Log. Yes, it's still base 10. Just lazy, as usual. X. Minus log
Yes.
to the
So
fifth.
I'll show you that. So we just.
What you call it? When you have something subtracted,
Extracurricular
instead of multiplying, like with addition, you just simply have to divide. This is just log, parentheses, x minus y. And a little box to signify I'm done. Last one for this section.
So the focus,
Ooh, this is hard.
Focus, organization, sentence fluence, and
Oh,
vocabulary.
okay, I got it.
Strictly for the essay.
Sorry.
So when
So, when a book, we still have this power here. Still trying to do go backwards from what we did earlier. So we're gonna bring this power up and this power up. So that's gonna get us log 3a squared minus log 3. And this time, instead of writing it as b to the 1/2 power, I'll write it as the square root of b because they're the same thing. And remember from earlier, if you're subtracting logs, then you just have to you have to divide them. So,
Give me 1 second. Let me turn this
looking at it,
down so it's not clicking.
log 3. Oh, I just realized. I don't know if you guys can hear that background noise. If so, my apologies. That's the heat in my house acting the fool. Anyway, log 3 a squared over the square root of b. And ignore the fact that, and what you call it. I know I just said this in a previous video about simplifying.
Yeah. I can, what I'll do is I'll send
Actually,
you
no, I will do it.
a copy of our spreadsheet.
Let me add
and
some
I'll just take our applicant's name off,
Now, depending, like I
and
said,
I'll
this is
send
more of a
you,
teacher
like,
preference.
the-
Depending on what teacher you have, they're gonna probably want you to multiply square root of b, square root of b, because for some reason they don't like it when you leave it. When you just leave it like this. Don't know why. It just is what it is, I guess. Anyway, assuming you have to do that, you get log to the 3 a squared times this square root of b over, since it's square root times the square root,
and then after,
that's just
like, the
b.
individual- Sorry, go ahead.
Now we just have to evaluate, so means I actually get a number this time. Okay. So let me think. Actually, let me zoom out.
25, and I'm not sure if
Kind of had the same idea as what we were doing earlier, of trying to convert it into one log instead of several. So we're still gonna bring this power up. We're gonna bring up this power. I'm gonna write that as log 3
and 3 zeros, so by
36, because 6 squared. So 6 squared is 36.
so then once all the committee
Little arrow to
members, like, you know,
signify
fill out
that.
their own scoring sheet,
Oh, oops.
then you can just like
Wanted to erase the
whoever's
6 because
leading
it's
the
not exactly the neatest.
discuss the results, just
Anyway,
I would suggest go one by one,
minus
and we did a vote, so if it was 6
log
of us on the line,
3,
or if it
4.
was 5 of us on the line, that person
When you
needs to
do
get at
that,
least 3 votes.
and just
Push it
divide.
to the second
So
round.
log
So if they
3,
didn't get those 3 votes, then we was like, okay.
36 over
Deb
4.
didn't get the 3 votes, so we was like, okay, whatever, we'll just
And that's
leave him, blank.
log
But this
3,
Shannon girl, she got
9.
the 3 votes.
And now I get to
and
contradict
then
myself
was
again,
left with
because I
like
will be
7 applicants.
going
Maybe it's
briefly
second
over
round.
what a log
So we
is.
still gotta narrow that down.
It's 3 parts
So
of a
then
log.
that's when we
8.
kinda talk, like, okay,
Remember them
think
called
this
BAP.
person, let's look at their GPA.
the base
Let's look at, you know, like,
answer.
stuff. We got a more in-depth conversation.
And then power.
Yep.
I'm just gonna use those variables too. So log b a equals p. For in essence, what it's asking you is b to the power of b of p is a. For example, so in this case, they're asking you 3 to what power gets you 9? And that's what the log is asking of you. And for this case, that's just 2, because 3 times 3 equals 9, and that's equal to 3 squared. Sorry for the brief covering of it. If you guys would like a more in-depth one, feel free to request one. But I believe that should be enough for this. And add a whole box. I'll add a box to the whole thing. 30. Oh boy. More terrible notation. Alright. So bring up the power again. Because of the product rule. I'll start from there. So log 25, because 5 squared is 25, plus log of 4. That remains unchanged. So when you're adding 2 logs, you just multiply by this one and this one. So you get log of 100. Now you remember this is log base 10 actually, because it's just like the default base. And if you look from our original thing, asking 10 to the x gets you 100, and x happens to be 2. That's what the log is equal to. Let me move this over.
It's whatever, whatever y'all budget calls for. And we were told too, like, once you start off, like the next year or the following
Weird how
year,
those both ended up being 2.
increase it, or you wanna
Also,
say
let me write
something.
this.
So you don't want
Just for when I write the
first year you give
PDF.
out $5,000 scholarships, but 2
A little easy to follow.
next year you don't
If you
give
just
out
skip my
50,000.
video and read the PDF, which if you do know what, no worries, I understand. Just trying to make it easier for that audience as well. Anyway, when we're subtracting logs, divide. So we're gonna get log 4 of 40. Oops, skip the step. Over 5. 40 over 5 is equal to 8. So it's asking 4 to the x equals 8. Oh, I almost made a mistake here.
We didn't put how much we
And said
in our app, like on
x equals 2. Move on.
the dollar amount.
It's not quite true, because I was thinking 4 times 2, 8. Not,
Okay.
no, not quite. This one is actually, let me confirm, hold on. I believe it's 3 halves. I'm gonna double check myself first before I say this and do the proof for it as well.
Oh, you know what?
Because,
Uh-huh.
yeah, this x is 3 halves here.
Yeah, it's April 26th.
And I'll explain why. Because what is 4 to 3 halves? You can rewrite it as 4, 1/2 times 4 times 1/2
I'm gonna show you something else.
times 4 plus 1/2.
This is our committee's recommendation, so none of these, Scott, we haven't contacted the recipients yet because we need Easter Dove blessing. So we're just saying this is what the scholarship committee recommends.
Am I tripping?
So they'll tell us yes or no, or they may say.
Hold on, my apologies. I'm gonna double check myself, guys. I feel like I'm making a mistake here.
That's just our recommendation.
That's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes.
We think it's
Just I shouldn't be making as many mistakes because this is my job. Oh well. But yeah, it is 3 halves.
I was trying to click on the Canva document.
Anyway,
because
I
was
got
gonna-
it. Sorry. So
Yeah, I
let's just look at these
haven't
two
pulled it up yet. I was looking for
Whoops.
it.
first.
I was looking for the Canva.
When you
document,
multiply 2
so-
things, the same base, exponents,
All
just
right,
add
that's
the
what I wanna
exponents.
show you.
So that will give you
that-
4, that'll give you
let's
1/2
say we
plus 1/2.
selected our applicant.
which is
It's
1.
not- like, this
You
is
get
not
4,
official yet
1
because
power.
Mr. Dove hasn't approved it
And
yet.
remember,
But this is the letter that
something.
we're sending out to the applicant.
Oops.
Like,
You remember
congratulations, we need
something
photo release
to the
form
1/2 power
attached.
was the
I
square
can
root
email
of
you
that
a
something.
copy of that, 'cause like if you're taking
This is
pictures
asking you
of
the
people
square
and
root of
putting it on
4.
your website, they'll
That happens
want
to be
to
2.
sign that photo release form.
So you have 4 times 2 equals 8. So that's where that comes from. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
If not, I can just do more explanation. No problem.
So how are you planning
Just
on
3
giving
more
them the money? Are you
problems.
having a
So
are you
log
having them come into the office on
base
the
A
same
of
day, or
x
are you doing a
equals
reception?
2
How y'all planning on
log
giving
base
them the money?
A 3 of 3
Okay.
plus log base A of 5.
So
So
this one, let me see.
first we
Okay,
can just
so
use
this
our
one
power
I'll
rule
show
again.
you, she got the
Trusty tool.
Easter award. Like that was just
Get
the-
us log
she didn't meet- she had met a
A.
different qualification, so we wanted to give her
What you
an
call it?
Easter book award, but for all the
Log A
other
of
ones
9,
that's getting
because 3 times
scholarships,
3
we told them
from the
that,
3
hey,
squared.
you know, that their presence is required on
Oops.
April 26th, no juniors, no
Plus
birthdays,
log A.
and then fill out
5,
a
I
photo
believe.
release, and then
Yeah,
we
5.
asked them to make us a video presentation.
When you're adding logs, you just multiply this and this. That gets you log A 45.
Yeah, the book award,
You remember
the book award that we're proposing
it's equal
is
to
less money than a scholarship. Like, we didn't
log
think she met the
A of
qualifications
X.
all the way of a scholarship, but we wanted to give
since
her something
this part-
smaller.
whoops.
So like, she's not
Give me a
coming
moment.
to the,
It's this-
the reception.
Po-
Because we didn't want her to feel
Oh boy,
bad
this pencil
seeing
is
how much
certainly
other
something.
people are getting, if she's not getting
I swear
the
it just
same
tightened
amount.
it
So
too.
that's why her
It's like
letter's a
things
little
falling off. Okay, there we go.
but
It's this
everybody
part.
else. And this
It's
is all, you know, none
these
of
part are the
this is
same.
formal.
That
None
means
of this is final, because we don't have Easter Dove blessing.
X
But I just wanted to go ahead and
equals
start
45.
working on it, just in case they approve it.
No wait. Oh boy. It's hard. Log base A x equals 3/2 log base A 9 plus log base A 2. So we're gonna bring up our power again. Boop. Poor arrow comes in its skin. What you call it?
Yes.
To the 3/2 power. Luckily, I just explained how that works to this other problem here.
You gotta,
So we
you
have
gotta leave Lisa alone. 'Cause
log to
that's
the
what
2
we
times
got, that
2.
big check like the lottery.
I mean 9 to the 2 over 2. It's 9 to the 1/2. This is just 1, so 9 to the first power. Or anything to the first power is just itself. That's 9.
Well, yes and no.
This is just
So
asking the
that
square root of
big
9,
check, we're not
which is
giving
2.
it to 'em, we just doing it as a photo.
I mean, not 2. This is 3.
What they gonna do with that check? They
It's
gonna
27. So I'm gonna just
But
move.
that's why.
Actually, maybe it was there. I'm gonna move all of this over
Ask,
right here.
Marita, I think, ordered it. I can ask her. Because we're using last
Plus that
year's
original
check.
log A of 2. So log
We
A,
got the
27,
rates.
which I got from
What we did was, like, don't,
this,
like, where you sign the check at the bottom, don't put anybody's
plus log
name
A
on
too.
there. Just put, like, you know.
When you're adding,
Amikai
just multiply
president or,
this and this.
You know, Amikai treasurer.
And that'll
Just
get
put
you
people's titles on
57.
there, so then next year you can use
And all
the same check. Like,
of-
we didn't put any dates on it.
and all
so
of
we
this
can reuse it. We didn't have to waste it.
equals log
And then the second question is,
A of
so
54.
we told them in the
I don't know why I said
application
56.
that they have
It's
to
been a
be
long
enrolled
day.
in a university.
Anyway,
So on April 26th,
this
they're
is
not
the same.
getting any money.
Thus
They have to send us a
X
copy
equals
of their registration,
54.
and we send out the check to them
All right.
in like September.
That's 1.
But they have to give us proof
Log
of
base B
enrollment.
of x plus 3 equals log base B 8 minus log base B 2. Alright. So what can we do? Well, I'm gonna rewrite I think if we could rewrite both of these numbers in terms of the other,
Correct, 'cause right
that'd
now
be good.
they don't know what school they're
8
going to. They still
just
trying to
happens to
figure it
be
out.
2
So
times
we
2
give them-
times 2.
We had to follow
That's
up
2
with a
times
couple
3.
of them in September, like, hey, you want your
So we
money
get
raised,
log
but, you know, make sure
Miss
you
B
send us a copy of proof of
2/3
enrollment.
minus
And once
log
they sent that, then we emailed them
B2.
back.
So why did I bother doing that? If you remember, when you have subtraction, it means you just divide. I have log B 2/3 for 2. This cancels out. This is just gonna be 2. 2 times 2 is 4.
Who you want me to email it
You
to?
have log B base 4 now. So this one's a little different. Log B x plus 3. So since this is 4, we just need to. This is just algebra of x plus 3 equals 4.
Okay. Put it,
Just subtract
send me
3 on
a
both
text
sides.
with your email addresses, 'cause I don't know if I
X
have
is
it.
1. So yeah,
Just text me your email
that concludes
address or text me one email
today's
address,
lesson.
then I can send
Thank you for tuning in,
forward it.
and have a wonderful day.